Hey guys, welcome back to Best Movies Recap. Today's story is about an ex-criminal who decides to make a family and live a normal life, but unfortunately, his past catches up to him and completely destroys his future. Without any further delay, let's get started. The movie begins somewhere in the northern region of Italy, where Sofia Romeo is playing a hockey match for her hometown organization. Her father Santo and her mother Ingrid are there to watch the match. She gets into a fight with another player, and she is sent to the bench for her behavior. Her mother wasn't happy to see her daughter so aggressive, but Sofia seems to be more like her father. She then goes back to the match and scores the final point that gets the victory for her team. After the match, Sofia is greeted by her teammate, then she meets her boyfriend Hakim before leaving with her parents. Santo is fine with Sofia's relationship as long as Hakim won't hurt his daughter. The next morning, as a reward for winning the match, Santo takes out his daughter for an off-road adventure in their car because Sofia wanted to learn to drive off-road like a rally driver. During this day out, the two have a lot of fun together, and Sofia dearly wishes to take a picture of herself with her father to put up on social media to memorize this wonderful trip, but Santo strictly tells her not to take any pictures of him. It has always been like this with Santo. He does not like or allows any of his family members to take any pictures of him. But Sofia is a teenager living in the Instagram world, so she sneakily takes a photo of her father and puts it up on the internet. On the other side, this photo seems to start a chain reaction somewhere in Milan, as a group of mafia captured the uploading of Santo's picture, and they identified him as the man they have been looking for decades. The next day, Santo stays back for a while at his wood sawing factory to look after the woodworking machine, and he sends his brother-in-law Patrick to pick Sofia up from practice. Patrick does so and takes the girl home, where he also spends some warm time with his sister Ingrid. However, this scene is quickly turned upside down when two armed men break into the house and kill Patrick and Ingrid. The attackers also take close pictures of Patrick's face and then realize that there is a third person in the house, which is the young Sofia. They try to find her and finish her as well, but Sofia manages to run out of the house. She then stays hidden in the nearby forest until the evening. When Santo returns home, he stumbles upon the gruesome scene at his house. Just as he sees his daughter, Santo spends no time mourning or trying to do something to his dead wife. He only takes Sofia and gets away from the place. It seems that Santo has already realized that the ghosts from his past are back for revenge. After a few hours of driving, the two reach a safe house where Santo used to go in an effort to evade their attackers. At this moment, Sofia starts questioning her father on why he didn't call an ambulance or call the police. The man initially stays silent about what is going on, but then reveal to his daughter that if he calls the police they will arrest him immediately. It turns out that Santo Romeo isn't his real name, but it is Domenico Franzi, and he was once part of the dangerous Sicilian mafia called the 'Ndrangheta, which is ruled by his family the Franzi, and therefore Santo never really had any option but to grow up in a life of violence. As part of his familial duties, which were in terms of the mafia rules, Santo had stirred up trouble with their rival mafia family, the Lo Biancos. Santo had killed the eldest son of Mafia Don Angelo Lo Bianco and had obviously caused a huge upset in the rival family. Ever since then, Angelo Lo Bianco has been looking for Domenico Franzi in order to get revenge for the murder of his son. But by that time, Santo had already seemingly fallen in love with Sofia's mother Ingrid, and he wanted to put an end to his thug life to start a new life with her. He did not care much for all the violence and bloodshed and just wanted a way to get away from it all. It was due to this that he had fled from Milan and settled down in a remote town on the northern fringes of the country. He had also given up his given name Domenico Franzi and had instead taken on the identity of Santo Romeo. After the couple had their only child Sofia, Santo was more determined to keep his wife and daughter safe from any harm, and this was precisely why he always kept insisting that nobody took pictures of him. The scenes shift to the Lo Bianco family in Milan as they prepare for attacks on Santo. Don Angelo had gotten himself a new right-hand man, a tech expert named Rudy Crisara. Before opening his own company, Crisara had worked with the government, and his expertise seems to be facial recognition technology. He had searched the internet with an old image of Domenico Franzi and been led to the recent Instagram post by Sofia. Sure that this was none other than the man they had been looking for, the Lo Biancos sent their men to murder him and his family. However, the goons mistakenly killed the brother-in-law Patrick, thinking that he was Santo, but Don Angelo could easily understand that they had missed their actual target after seeing the video of the crime. Meanwhile, Santo takes a fake passport and changes the plate of his car, then he gives a phone to his daughter and warns her from calling anyone before he left to look for an old criminal named Vituzzo. Santo finds him in his cafeteria and then tortured him with a knife to reveal the name of the two people who killed Santo's family last night. On the other side, Sofia didn't follow her father's advice and she called her boyfriend to pick her up, but unknown to her the criminals track her call and they find her location. Hakim reaches the location first, but just as he leaves the criminal arrives, then a car chasing followed where Hakim is killed and Sofia is captured, but her father joins her in the last moment and fights the goon who manages to stab him, but Santo then shoots him in the head and left with his daughter. As news of the double murder breaks out on television, the police identify the missing Santo as the notorious mafia henchman Domenico Franzi, whom they too had been looking for all these years. The police as well as the mafia goons all start chasing him and his daughter. Santo decides to go to Milan to seek revenge himself. And since there is nobody else he can entrust Sofia with, he decides to take the girl along with him as well. The two reach Milan and Santo breaks into a house so they can spend the night there because they can't go to a hotel. During the night, Santo's condition worsened and Sofia is forced to take him out to a clandestine hospital where they sewed his wound and gave him some medicine. Meanwhile, Don Angelo tells Rudy Cressara to now track down Santo and Sofia from the public traffic and security cameras in the city of Milan. Rudy starts looking for the two and easily locates Sofia when she was entering the clandestine hospital. He then tells the goons who immediately went to the place and they attack Santo who is still recovering, but the latter manages to kill a few of them and escape with his daughter. And here Santo explains that they will keep coming for them until they are dead. So the only option they have is to attack them. Santo starts preparing bombs and training Sofia to be able to defend herself when he is not around. It just seems like Santo had been living a different life for all these years, but the brutal murder of his loved ones had sent him back to his old vicious self. Santo gives her a knife and teaches her how to use it, not in a way to kill her victim too quickly, but instead in a way that would make her victim remember her face before dying. Later on that night, Santo explains his plan to Sofia and tells her that after he finishes his job, the two will go to South Africa to stay with his friend. Santo now plans to kidnap the younger son of the Don Angelo and hold him hostage. This younger son is named Michel, he is a businessman, and he doesn't really like that his father is spending a lot of money for an act of stupid revenge. Santo manages to make his way to Michel's company, and with a distraction provided by his daughter, he kidnaps Michel Lo Bianco from his office. He then sent a picture and a message to Don Angelo, where he orders the mafia boss to confess to the police about all his crimes over the last 30 years, and also to provide proper evidence about all his accomplices and network of funds, or else he will kill his younger son as well, just like he had killed his elder child. Santo thought that Don Angelo might negotiate with him in order to save his son, but the mafia boss is more determined to save his reputation and business than to protect his often disagreeable son. Don Angelo tracked the signal from Michel's phone and sends more men to finish Santo. The scene shifts to a train station where Santo used a sniper to kill more goons, then he used a knife to kill the man who killed his wife. Meanwhile, Sofia and Michel have been alone in the safe house where Santo had kept Lo Bianco hostage. Michel tries to convince the girl that both of them are in a similar situation. Just like Sofia had been forced into this life of hiding and evading all of a sudden, he too has been forced to be a part of his family's bloodthirsty violence. He also tells the girl that her father had killed his elder brother, and Sofia seems to question her father's actions, at least for a brief second. She then receives a call from Santo, who explains that his plan did not work well, so he will sacrifice himself in order to save her. At this moment the police track the phone call and send 2 units, one for Sofia and the second one to arrest Santo. Meanwhile, Santo goes over to the Don Angelo lavish house, which also seems to be the mafia headquarters. He kills all the security guards by himself. Then he enters Angelo's room and strangles him to death. Knowing that his daughter will not be safe if he stays alive, Santo pretends that he is about to pull out a gun, and the police immediately shoot him dead. On the other side, the authorities reach out to the safe house and rescue Michelle and Sofia from there, with the latter being put up at a Catholic orphanage. As time goes by, Michelle Lo Bianco visits the orphanage and meets with Sofia. He promises her that he wants to stop the unnecessary blood feud between the families of Lo Bianco and Franzi, and asks her to meet him once she leaves the orphanage. A few years seem to pass, and Sofia leaves the orphanage as soon as she turns 18. Still holding memories of her father very dear to her heart, she goes over to Michelle's office to meet him. It becomes clear that Michelle actually wanted to kill her because he wanted revenge for the death of his father, so he sent Crisara to look for her at the orphanage. But Sofia now identifies herself as a member of the Franzi family that her father had fought for and given his life for as well. She meets Michelle and stabs him as her father teaches her to ensure that Michelle remembers her face as he suffocates in his own blood. With her revenge mission now complete, Sofia walks out into the city and blends in with the crowd.